Next up, Mark Coley from the BMA, who is the BMA's representative on the Joint GP-IT Committee, along with the Royal College of GPs. And it's been really important to us from the outset that we work really closely with patients, with the public, with privacy campaigners like Med Confidential, and also with the professions, with GPs, with doctors, to understand what their concerns were around access to data, and not just to listen to them, not just to be performative in that engagement, but to mitigate the concerns that they raise in our privacy model. And a lot of what we have built in OpenSAFELY has been informed by the very technical feedback we've had from people like Mark and others. So, Mark.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Mark Coley, and I'm a GP, and I'm the policy lead for digital IT and data on the BMA's General Practice Committee for England. Before I retrained to do medicine, which I qualified as a GP 10 years ago, I was a physicist, and I did a PhD in the analysis of serially acquired 3D magnetic resonance images using supercomputers. So I'm quite familiar with coding in C. And AI is a new phenomenon, because I came from the old-fashioned days where you told a computer what to do and you knew what it did. And we seem to be moving slightly away from that at the moment. Anyway, as clinicians, we know the data we record about our patients can have uses beyond direct care. Many people and many organisations would like either their own copies of GP data or at least access to it. As the scale of intended use increases, so does the need for ever greater scrutiny. OpenSAFELY, given its current unique method of operation, sitting inside the GP system supplier's systems, where the most disclosive data are held, has had the support of the profession since it began. It enabled vital research to take place without fears of data loss through dissemination. The COPI regulations and later the data direction provided legal protection to data controllers. We are not against the use of the data that we are responsible for, as some may suggest, but we have an obligation to our patients to take great care of the information about them, even if it is used for the common good. We also have a responsibility as the main union representing GPs to ensure contract holders have sufficient legal protection in place to enable data to be shared without risk of litigation. It's a fine balance. And in this age of underfunding, where collective action calls on GPs to consider not signing up to new data sharing agreements until general practice is appropriately funded, it makes our work all the more difficult. That said, OpenSAFELY has our support because of how it works, and it has a degree of openness which is to be commended. There is talk of moving to a central NHS record, with data controllership possibly moving away from GPs. No doubt the OpenSAFELY platform could function in a central record, but more thought would be needed if the role of the GP moved from that of protecting and nurturing the GP record to merely being that of someone who entered data and who had no oversight in how it might be used. If our patients lost trust in us, we wouldn't be able to do our job. But these are discussions for another day. We should build on what we have now, whilst the wind is behind us. If the equivalent of Storm Bert hits the data space in the future, we can use our learning to date, safely sailing through. Thank you.